This talk would be slightly technical and also a small background of why it is a very big necessary step for BMW to move in this direction, right? Um, Small intro, I'm Roshan Amasa, working as a data scientist, data architect at BMW. I also consult machine learning and NLP projects. This is quite relevant slide because further in the talk, it makes a big part. So BMW has almost 138,000 employees, and IT alone has around 5,000 employees. So this means there are quite a lot of information that's been collected, and digitalization plays a very big part here. Just to give you a brief background, we have somewhere around 230 software products, in-house products. It's spread across close to 700 locations, and the most critical thing is where digitalization comes into play is where we have around 1 billion requests coming in every day just from the cars alone, from 12 million cars. Sorry, 12 million cars, yeah. Why boats now? I think most of you should be aware of this two different types of boats. One is task-oriented and the conversational boat. I wouldn't emphasize much on this, but the main focus of this presentation will be on the task-oriented boats, because we have a clear definition on what we have to achieve with conversational AIs. This is, I don't know who has gone through the stats. It's one of the most interesting stats which I came across. There is almost 15% of people at the enterprise are willing to have a chatbots as a communication channel, and this 15% is not a small number. And what is contributing to this 15%? I have just taken out the four important points. So you can see that nowadays it's difficult to navigate through a website or something, and to get even a simple answers, you have to break your head. So the predicted use cases around it is quite a many, and we'll see a couple of them later. The most important thing which I wanted to talk is about most of the times people say that chatbots are only used for younger generation, but it's not the case, where even the baby boomers are using it quite often. In most of the sections, they are using it more than the millennials. Just to give you a background on how the portfolio is at BMW, it has three different segments. We have digital assistants in cars. We have one of the major role of digital assistants is in the business process, and the other section is the service desk. Talking about bots in cars, I don't know how many of you people have already heard about intelligent personal assistants in BMW cars. It's the most advanced digital assistants you see nowadays in automotive industry. This is the basic architecture, what's behind the bots. It's a multi-modality interface where you can have voice, you have touch, you can type, you have like different kinds of inputs, and then the devices connected to is not just the cars, but also the smart devices at home, your calendars, your other devices are connected to it. And there are different channels how you can communicate to it. Some being Skype, Teams, Facebook Messenger, and so on. And at the central part, what we have is this framework, what we have built, and more or less anybody who has a good idea behind saying that I have a clear service that it can be provided with within the car industry, and then they can come in as a third-party assistant and then plug into our virtual assistant framework, and then you can easily provide your services there. Coming to the other sections of the portfolio, we have boats in different areas. We have from research, we have boats in procurement, we have in manufacturing, we have boats in after sales, and also, as I said, mentioned earlier, support functions. I have 2 use cases which I can talk in 5 minutes. So this is one of the most unusual boats that we help the business people to realize their ideas, and one of them being the workplace assistant. Yeah. As I said before, there are 138,000 people working for BMW, and it's not an easy task to communicate across the globe. And it's most of the times 20% of the tasks are consumed by repetitive tasks, like scheduling a meeting with somebody else, or even looking up the knowledge base to find some kind of abbreviations, or to find the right person so that you can talk to. And to realize this, what we did was we built something similar to Alexa or Google Home, where we have integrated some of the APIs to it, and then what it does basically, it helps you in not to repeat the repetitive tasks. So here is an example for German speakers. It should be quite easy, but for others, what you can see here is you can do some tasks, something similar to I would like to schedule a meeting with one of the departments, and I also need a room reservation for us. And what the bot does is basically it gives you back it looks up into the calendar of the other people, and then it suggests you the different time slots where you can have your meeting scheduled, and also giving you the room information for it. And other examples could be the most. BMW has a lot of legacy systems, and there is lots and lots of abbreviations going around in the company. And it's for a newcomer, it's not easy. So one of the tasks of what it can help you is to look into the abbreviations and give you back the answers to it. It's a single interface, single platform, and what you can see is it's all connected to on one platform, and there is one Teams is what we are using, and Louis is the network behind it. The second use case, I don't know who has attended Esteris Maria's session, my colleague's session. She did a deep dive about it. It's a compliance chatbot. The compliance is one of the systems where we could easily use digitalization or conversational AI to solve their problems. Basically, now what we have is 3 different systems where you have to, let's take an example, like somebody is gifting me a wine bottle as a gift, and then there is a compliance issues that it should not be above 50 euros. If it is, or if it is not, you still have to document this, and it has to go through 3 different systems, and it's quite a tedious job. So what we did was, basically, this is the bot what we built. Basically, we could scrap out all these 3 systems, and then you can go through, you can ask your questions through the bot, and then it automatically also gives you the right documentation, and it also documents there is no effort in documenting for the employees later. The biggest takeaway what I would like to give from my talk is everybody are building bots. It's the current trend, but are we building it the right way? There are different aspects to it. Are we building it in the right way? Do we have the right components? Possibly examples could be, do we have the right infrastructure? Do we have NLP components, something like this? You have abbreviations, group terms, arguments, sentimental analysis as a different product. Do we have NLP tasks built on it? And are we building parallelly chatbots along with this architecture? Thank you.